Hello, I'm Jake Motherker, and today I'm going to be your accounting manager. So we're looking at what an accounting manager does is that we are going to evaluate your finances, and I'm going to present them to you, to management, and we're going to figure out how we're going to move forward with our goal. So what our goal is that we have growing revenue, and that's phenomenal. That's really good for a company, and every company wants to see that we have growing revenue. They want to have growing revenue. But the issue is that our profits aren't following along with that. And profits are more important than revenue because profits are what you can really take in the end. So the fact that we have growing revenue indicates that some things are going really well. The fact that our profits aren't catching up, they're not coming along with us, so something else is going wrong. And that's where we're going to need some responsibility centers, especially we're going to focus on the cost responsibility center. But before we get into that, we have to start evaluating our finances. And we're looking at evaluating our finances. We're going to eventually looking into evaluating our profit margins as well as our net income and our net income after it's been adjusted for inflation. But we have to look at who we are as a company. Who is Pop Resort and Spa? And I think at Pop Resort and Spa, we have to look at what our unique value proposition is. And our unique value proposition is in the fact that we have spa and childcare. Now, those two things don't seem like they really connect very well at the beginning. Spas are for adults, they're for relaxation, they're for sitting back and just enjoying your life. And children don't like to do that very much. Children, they're everywhere. They're bouncing around and they're like active and they're lovely and we love them, but they're a little much sometimes. And that's the thing, that's where they connect, is when you're looking at young parents, newlywed couples with young children who are still in the throes of love and they want a romantic weekend for them to relax together. But the thing is, they can't do that because they have children and they love their children. They love their children. But let's be honest, sometimes they get on their nerves. And so the thing is that what we have to do is we have to give them an escape. And that's our point. We're a family-oriented place for people to come. They leave their children. They're safe. They're secure. And they love it because children love to play with other children. Children love to talk, to play, to run around and bump into things with other children. And so having childcare is super fun for the children, and it's the needed escape for the parents to relax for a weekend, to come stay at our hotel, to go to our hotel bookings and just relax. Now, when we're looking at our finances, and that's the important thing here is when we're looking at a management accounting and what we do is financing. And so when we look at our profit margin, we fill out this chart here. It's a little bit difficult to read. It's not easy to read in table. So I graphed it for us to see over periods of time, over our current year and then our year ago and 2 years ago. And so when we're looking at where our profit margins are really high, we're seeing that this orange line, and this orange line represents food and beverages. So food and beverages, we're doing really well on profit margins. So that suggests that we should put more money in food and beverages because we get more money out when we put money into food and beverages. We have way better profit margins. So the thing is that our advertisements should focus on food and beverages. And so we have this thing is we have a 3-point plan for our advertisements. First, we have this marketing perspective on who we want to be, on how we want to brand ourselves. And we want to brand ourselves as family-oriented, as a point for people to come together, as a point for young couples, young married couples who have children, or maybe not married, but people who have children who want a time to relax. They have young kids and they want their kids to be safe because they love their children and they want their kids to have fun. And that's where childcare comes in. And then they want to relax. They want to be able to take the weekend off, take a separation from their days. And then they want to go and they have high quality food, 4-star food at our food and beverage. That's where our second point comes in. And that point comes from our finances. It comes from the fact that our revenue, our profit margin is way higher. If we want to get our net income, our profits up, focusing in on this orange line, focusing on food and beverages is really important. And so getting people from the spa into the restaurants is our next step. And that's where advertisements come in. But the thing is, that's where we have a 3-prong. The first prong is our family-oriented marketing, spa, and childcare. Our second prong is our finance-oriented food and beverages make more profit. And our third one is that just reasonability. We're Pop Resort and Spa. We're about being a resort. So in order to be a resort, we need to have people booking our hotels. And right now, we don't have great profit margins on there. And so that would suggest that maybe we don't focus so much on it. But the truth is that that's who we are. If people don't come to the hotel, if people aren't booking at the hotel, we're going to see massive declines in both our spa, our childcare, and our food and beverages. And so we need people to be coming and staying at the hotel. And so our advertisements need to be 3 point, and they need to focus on the hotel and what the hotel can provide. The hotel can provide a family-oriented break. Relaxation, true relaxation. You can spend the weekend with your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever your person is. You can spend the period with a romantic evening at a spa. And your children can be safe and your children can be cared by someone who's not you. And so that's our third prong is now we get to our third prong, which is the food and beverages. And that's where our finances come in. That's where we make our real money per the amount of money we put in. For the money we put in, we get money out in food and beverages. The advertisements need to show the quality of our food. We need to advertise the fact that we're 4-star and the fact that we truly can provide a unique experience for these people. So then looking further into our finances, and we're looking at our net incomes. Our net incomes are going up from our hotel bookings. They're really going up from our food and beverages. They're rather stagnant from our spa, and they had a really good spike a year ago, and they've returned back to the levels they were about 2 years ago. That's before we look at inflation. When you then factor in inflation, you see we're actually seeing declining, and that's where our declining profits come in. We're seeing a decline in hotel bookings. We're still seeing growth. We're still seeing growth in food and beverages, and that's where we have really strong food and beverages, and why we need to focus in our food and beverages. We're seeing a decline in spa, and what we had this growth about a year ago, we're going back to our point, and this is about leveled out. So the thing is that by coupling these two, by advertising them as a combined package, that you can pay for a spa and childcare at the same time, because we're family oriented, we can really be making more money here. And so we're looking at our centers, we want to be using revenue centers for these two. Our responsibility centers want to be about revenue. We want to be getting more revenue out of them. When we're looking here, we can continue with our basic profit center that's doing very well. We don't need to focus specifically in on profit or costs. We can just continue moving forward. On our advertisements, though, we need to get more and more people in them, but our responsibility center, can still be about a profit-based responsibility center. It's just continuing making profit, keeping as we are. And we're looking here, we're seeing massive declines. And so what we have to do is we have to be cutting costs. The thing is that cutting costs is not only good because it'll help us gain revenue there. It won't help us gain revenue. It'll help us gain income there, help us gain net income, help us gain profit there. But also, we don't want people sitting in the room all day. Being in the room is phenomenal. We want really high quality rooms, and we have really high quality rooms. But we don't want to be putting so much money into putting more amenities into the room. We want the amenities out of the room, into the spa, into the childcare, and really into our food and beverages. That's where we make our money. People have already paid for the room. They don't make more money by staying in the room for longer and longer. So by cutting costs and getting people out of the room, into the food and beverages, into our 4-star restaurants, into our phenomenal childcare and spa packages, joint packages, our family-oriented business at Pop, Resort, and Spa. By getting them there, so by cutting costs, by looking at our cost responsibility centers, by really putting responsibility on the cost there, that can be fantastic. It can be truly amazing for our company. So we're moving forward. Our ads need to be family-oriented. They need to get people into our restaurants, and most important, they need to get people to come, and they get people to come by focusing on our restaurants and the family-oriented spa and childcare deals. So as a management accountant, this is what I'm suggesting, and I think it'll be really, really fantastic for our goal in the long run of raising our profits. Thank you. Any questions?